Hello, welcome to the horror channel. Thanks for taking an interest into sharing your horror story. First question to you. Do you believe in the existence of ghosts?
That's a very interesting question. Truthfully, I've actually never seen a ghost before. I think, but it's hard to say that you don't believe in it because there's so many people among my friends and family members who've actually heard or experienced this paranormal stuff. I actually have very high tolerance towards this kind of stuff, so I can't say I actually feel any uneasiness or goosebumps or whatsoever. But seeing my cousin actually said what he said, his reaction sort of frightened me more, to be honest.
Wow, you have to tell us your story. But in fact, when you say that you are, I would say, quite numb, to the supernatural, I would agree. Do you remember you stayed at my place before?
Which one?
The one at Kuala Lumpur when you first came down for work.
Okay.
You were renting a room. You remember?
Yeah.
And for a certain period of time, you came to my place and you stayed for the whole week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that house.
You're not saying that place is haunted, right?
Well, I'm not sure about it. In fact, if you ask me, right, I have felt their presence, but it was during those situations where I am not 100% certain. Right? It's sort of like you feel that something is there, or you have seen it with the corner of your eye, or when you are quite blur, sort of like you see, there might be something, but you cannot be certain to say that.
Yeah, you never give it a second thought, lah.
Correct. It is solidly in front of me.
Okay.
So what happened was that house, when I first came down to work, I needed a place to stay. Yeah, so the stingy me would not rent a house for long, because for me, renting a house for a long time means I'm losing money. Yeah, I would prefer to have my own place. So I bought a very cheap house. And when I bought the house, the first time when I went into, it's a condominium, by the way.
Yeah.
Not the high class condominium, but it's sort of like a very packed apartment. I think that's about 900 over units.
Okay.
Quite a lot of facilities. We have swimming pool, we have badminton courts, multi-story car parks. The whole thing is gated and guarded. We have guards and all those. So when it's kind of like a
place,
good,
right?
Yeah, it's a whole place. So when I first went to the place, it was quite well maintained. Everything was quite well lit, and then all the lifts, all those are working. But when I moved in, I tell you, the place became run down. Okay, we had 6 lifts. Okay, I use the word we had because most of the time it's not working anymore. So it's quite bad. And the people that are staying over there, you can see that it's quite a sad community. Not the sort where it's not a proper place to be if you want to be happy.
Right. What do you mean by that?
Well, there are certain places where when you visit, right, you will find that it's a bit gloomy. The people over there are not happy. When you see the face, sort of those who are, I feel sad to use this word, poor people.
Okay, and there were were there a lot of foreigners then?
Yeah, we have a lot of Bangladeshi people. Yeah, we also have a lot of people who, just like me, they just came out from their villages, or they just came from a very far away place. They rented a room there, or they just rent a house where a lot of people pack into the house.
Okay.
Yeah, so the story begins where, I moved in. In fact, I felt nothing. Okay, my wife also felt nothing. But we have a common friend who likes badminton a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I told him, wow, you are spending a lot of money renting badminton courts. Why don't you come over to my place for a good game of badminton on a weekend? And he agreed. So that night, normally I will go out with him. We go out for a drink, we go out for snooker, and then we'll come back home quite late. Sometimes I'll fetch him, sometimes he'll fetch me. So that night, he fetched me. And upon arriving home, he told me that he needed to visit the loo. Okay, he needed a toilet break, and so I said, yeah, since you need a toilet break, why don't I bring you down to the badminton court to have a look, see whether is it a good enough condition where we can play a few games, and
Okay.
there are toilets in there. Yeah, so let's visit. When we were at the badminton court, it was so run down. The floor was not properly turfed. Okay, never mind. The whole situation was quite dark. There were no lights, and yeah, we were quite brave. So we went ahead to the toilet. As he went in, not more than 2 seconds, he rushed out. He said, "It's fine, it's fine. I'll just go home and settle." Yeah. As we were walking away from the badminton court, after some distance, he told me he felt very strong goosebumps.
Right.
Yeah, he told me to avoid
presence of another person.
Yep. He couldn't explain. He told me to avoid the badminton court at all costs.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's a true story, by the way. If you meet him, you can ask him.
Yeah. Crap.
Now, that is not the only thing that happened. There were fire. Fire happened before in the building, and this whole complex itself have 2 blocks. Okay, our blocks were the condominium block, and then you remember there was another block just right in front of the condo. Okay, I stayed there for 1 year plus. There were, I think, at least 2 suicide cases.
Okay.
People jumped down from the building and committed suicide. They killed themselves. So at my unit, I have smelled how do I say it? The corpse rotting smell.
Pungent?
Yes, pungent. Right in front of my door.
In your unit?
My unit. Not in my unit. As I come out from the house, I smell it. You see, the house, the unit in front of me is vacant. Okay, and the unit just beside the vacant unit, the diagonal unit, that one stay a couple of Malay couple with I think 2 kids, nice people. Yeah. When I knocked their door and asked them, "Do you smell anything?" They say, "No, nothing."
So it's just you?
Yeah, just me and my wife. We both smell it, and we reported to the management body. So what happened was they sent up guards, and that unit was not rented. They have no idea who is the owner and all those. So they broke down the door. There was nothing inside the unit.
Right. But did they smell it too?
No, they say no smell, nothing. After that, no smell anymore. We couldn't, there's no apparent smell anymore.
Okay.
So, well, that is incident number 2. Incident number 3 was sometimes my brother will come down and visit me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he will always have some friends with him. So after a while, he didn't stay at my place anymore. He rather ran a hotel. Yeah, so the room that you stay, according to my brother's friend, he saw a kid sitting in the room, staring at him the whole night. He couldn't
the room
sleep.
That I stayed.
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me, man?
I didn't know, man. I know about all this stuff after
Damn.
I have moved out. Yeah, so after I have moved out to this new house, then he told me, yeah, just to be frank with you, in fact, we felt something when we were there. And if you ask me, right, would I go back to the place for a visit? Sometimes we will, when we pass by a certain building, we'll say, yeah, I used to stay here and all those, right? There's this nostalgic feeling. I would never go back there. You know why? After we moved out about 1 month, some old fella died alone on the same floor, and he literally rot over there, and the smell covered the whole floor.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's true story.
That's sad though.
I feel bad for the new owner though. Yeah, in a way, I'm quite glad I got rid of the unit. Yeah.
you feel bad for the new owner. I feel bad for the old person, for the old guy.
Yeah.
No one there to be with him or her at the last moment. I think that's really sad.
Yeah. How about you? Do you have any story to share with our listener?
Like not from me. Usually it's from hearsay from a friend of mine who experienced this kind of stuff.
Okay.
One of my friend who studies in a university in Malaysia. I would say quite in a foresty area lah, right? Like I don't want
Okay.
to mention names. Like at a hostel, right? He was supposed, according to him, like he was supposed to go back to that hostel, like after a semester break. But he went back a little bit early, and then not everybody goes back at the same time. So his roommate like didn't come back that night. So he was supposed to stay in a new place, a new hostel room, alone first until he's
that is in campus hostel.
Yeah, in campus hostel. Yeah, that's right. So he didn't give it a second thought. He's been staying in campus hostel, a different unit. But this time it's a new unit for quite some time already. So when he moved to a new unit, he didn't give it much thought lah. So on the first night itself, he was quite tired. So he said that he fell asleep quite early lah. Supposed to fall asleep quite early, but what happened is just before he fell asleep, like those plastic chairs that has the backrest, the toe to the back.
Yes.
Yeah, he suddenly when he off the light.
Those red plastic chair we will have it at the coffee shop, right?
Yeah, exactly that one. But he said that the one that he had was like this light blue, almost whitish.
Okay.
So just when he was about to fall asleep, he felt that that plastic chair that was supposed to be beside his bed, because the table was there, the computer table was there. So he felt that he felt and heard the chair being dragged across the room.
Oh my God! And he was alone in the room.
Yeah, he was alone. So, some people don't give it much thought. Some people felt that maybe he's tired, but he automatically felt that wow, this is up. So he technically closed his eye, huddle up as close as possible, pull the blanket, and grab himself as tight as possible, and try to ignore it.
Yep, I will do that.
Yeah. So what's the creepiest thing he said? He felt somebody right beside his ear whispered into his ear, 不要假睡.
Wow.
Yeah. So imagine when you had nobody's supposed to be in that room, then you hear that suddenly the chair move, and then when you are trying to sleep, that is quite a natural thing to do. Like some people do that, like try to pretend sleeping, and then to have whatever that is, come and whisper in your ear and tell you, you're bullshitting me. Don't pretend sleeping, man. Like that's really screwed up, right?
I'm trying to put myself into his shoe. Yeah. What would I do? Currently, I can't think of any sane reaction.
Yeah. So what he did? He jumped out of his bed, rushed and turned on the lights, and there was nothing there.
Wow. Did he continue to stay in the room?
No, he went to the other rooms and looked for his friend, and then stayed with his friend. I missed out a little bit of info. Like he said that the voice was actually a guy's voice.
Wow.
So it's not like those typical ghost story where the ghost is always female. This one is a guy.
Yeah. At least you tell me that it's a guy. I feel so much better right now. Well,
I don't see how it's supposed to make you feel much better.
Ladies ghosts are always scarier. I'm not sure why. In the movies, right, we always see ladies ghosts. It's always female.
Yeah.
The only guy that I can think of is Ju-on, and it's a kid.
Yeah, true, but I don't know why movies like have the ghost as female. Maybe it's they feel that it's supposed to make it scarier. I don't know.
Well, I think we saved the story for another time. I think you have a lot of stories to share, right? Like you say.
Yeah.
We save it for another time. We should end the session here today. Thank you very much for sharing, and do keep coming back to the channel. We will have a lot more stories to share in the future. Thank you very much.
Most welcome.